Hey, I'm David.
And I'm Lily.
And welcome to Odem Travels. Guys, we just got back from Greece, and that was a blast. And here today, we're going to talk all about our trip to Paros, starting with how to get there. So I find this to be such a valid question that I actually got asked a lot on Instagram. Do you get there by plane, ferry, so forth? We found that ferries are like highways there, right? So I personally think that's gonna be your best form of travel, because with planes, you can have complications, and heck, we even had one of our islands, a plane flight that we took got canceled on us.
So we were initially supposed to go to Zakynthos.
Zakynthos, yeah. So once you land on Paros, it is a smaller island, and you are definitely going to need a car. Luckily, some guys approached us to rent a car, and it actually turned out to be pretty cheap. I think we ended up getting it for 45 euros, talked them down a bit. Speaking of which, the car got us to our villa.
Yeah, so our villa was located very close to Nasu, probably like a 10-minute drive. It was kind of located on a hilltop, so the route there is very scenic, very beautiful. It's facing the sea. So when we got there, we were greeted by reception.
Yes, and that was amazing. Let's be honest. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 star. I mean, whatever we needed. I mean, they were there to help us as far as planning where to go, restaurants, anything with the room, and with the villa. And speaking of which, this villa is so nice. I will definitely be, we're gonna post that video. I'll throw it up here top left of just a walkthrough of that villa. If you guys haven't booked a room yet, highly consider this place. It was out of this world. The views, your own private pool. I mean, we'll talk more about it later, but yeah, that was pretty epic. We got settled in, we had dinner. And the place we chose for dinner was also very scenic. I mean, I would arguably say one of the best pictures I took was like sitting in that chair. You got the white domes, the sky changing, it was sunset, it was beautiful, right? The food.
Yeah, so the food was modern Greek cuisine. Like David mentioned, it was right on the beach, and so you're right by the ocean. It's very romantic, candles lit. And we got to try kind of our first fine dining experience of Greek cuisine. And we had 2 different kind of perspectives and impressions of it. I was really excited to come to Greece with an open mind and just kind of have my taste buds challenged. So I definitely tried a lot of first flavors in this dinner. But you had a little different experience. A little different.
Luckily, it started off really good for me. The modern Greek salad with the local cherry tomatoes, and then the creamy feta. Like, I would smash one of those right now. Like, it was so good. Fortunately, moving forward, it was just very unique flavors. And I think I just got there, we were fresh to Greece, and I just wasn't ready for all that, to say the least. And we'll even throw in the description where we ate at, because it is a very beautiful view, along with maybe even some other places that we didn't have enough time to make. Moving on, guys.
The sunrise.
Yes, Lily's favorite, my not so favorite because of the early mornings. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
Well, our villa, like I said, it was facing the sea, so the sunrise, came up directly over the sea, and that was our view in the morning. So beautiful,
so beautiful. I mean, we did have to wake up early, and luckily, we quit drinking about a year ago, and that has been a huge blessing in many ways in our relationship and our time in general. You really realize when you drink how much time is diverted to that, and if you're drinking late night, even till 12 o'clock, it's not that fun to wake up at 5, and it's just so cool to see some of just that beautifulness, the sun coming up, the changing of colors. So it was worth it. Maybe not in the moment, but hey, we were treated after that with a delicious breakfast.
Yes, so we headed into NASA once again, and we actually just jumped one restaurant over to
literally
eat our breakfast. It was actually an all-day restaurant, but they, started off with breakfast, and it will go down as our favorite breakfast
in all of Greece. Yeah. And then we decided to walk the town. Yeah. And speaking of videos, I'll throw up another video once it's ready up here of me just walking through the streets of Nasa. I really do need to remember that. I really do. But I'll throw that up just in case you can't make it to this island. And then next, guys, we went to our villa. Definitely the highlight of the trip. I mean, this place was out of this world. I mean, we're talking your own private pool with a picturesque view and all the bells and whistles. Like, it was amazing. If you haven't picked a villa yet, we'll throw all that, just, all the information of it down in the description down below. And goes to show that even on vacation, you still get into arguments. When you get out of your comfort zone, it definitely challenges us, right? And shows us that, like, the importance of communication and working together, right? And I think that's really awesome. That's something this trip has really shown me is how to get closer to you know?
Yeah. And I think that one of the biggest lessons of marriage is how to lose selfishness. And it's a very difficult lesson.
Fair.
I will say that in this particular moment, I had a moment of selfishness, and when we openly shared our thoughts, it was important for us to, in the end, to reach a decision that was going to be a win-win for the both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy that we were faced with those challenges, because I think at the end of the day, Paros brought us closer together, and it may bring you closer together. I think that's fair to say. After that, guys, we went to lunch, and I closed my eyes just so I can picture it again. This was our first island, and I kid you not, it was the best gyro we had the entire trip. And I was thinking they're all going to be this good. If you're in Paros, you need to go to this place. I'll tag it down below. I got the pork and chicken mix. It was so good. I walked back to get another one. It was so good.
And
right?
I got one for
so
overeating.
Highly recommend that. Next, what do we do?
So we decided to explore a little bit of Paros. Our villa was located right between Nasu, which is apparently the best village in Paros, and the #1 beach, which is kind of like a rocky formation style beach. So we explored the beach for a little bit, and then finished off exploring, heading to a church on the seaside.
Yes, the church. Something I'll say about that is here in America, I would never in my wildest dreams think of climbing on top of a church to take pictures. But there, it's definitely a different culture. I'm not saying they do that, but I'm saying it's totally acceptable in some places. Definitely use your common sense while climbing up a church. This one in particular was literally rocks all the way up. Like, there was no ladder or anything weird like that. And that was our first place. We got that picturesque, this is Greece. We're talking blue skies, the water, the white domes. It was beautiful. We took some amazing shots there. That's for sure. Yeah. And then after that, what did we do? We went back to
our villa.
Yes.
To enjoy sunset. Now, the sunset did set behind us.
Yeah.
But we still got to enjoy the sky, and kind of the surprise of the night was what we discovered. David came running to me. He's like, "Hey, do you hear this noise?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
We hear bells.
We heard some bells, so we checked it out.
Sure enough, we run into a bunch of goats, just rams, goats, you name it, and we're just chowing down on the bushes. No shepherd nearby. It just felt like what you picture Greece, right? You're chilling at this luxury resort, you hear me, villa, and then you got goats popping up, right? So that was actually really nice. And in conclusion, what I'd like to say is, I highly recommend you go to a place like Paros. You're gonna get local Greece, and I get it. Go to Santorini, Mykonos, those are must. But this is going to be a very different experience, and one that, man, you'd regret if you didn't do. So, I personally highly recommend Paros for sure. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and to me, what comes to mind is Paros is still Greece untouched.
Untouched.
So I hope they recognize the uniqueness of their island and keep it.
Keep it that way, yeah.
It was an absolute experience and something, once again, we highly recommend to everyone.
Seriously, and guys, like I said, we will throw all links down below, places we went to, maybe even some restaurants we didn't go to because we didn't have time that you should check out. And I think lastly, don't be shy to ask any questions. We'll help you out, in any way that we can, whether it's how to get to the islands or COVID related or food related and stuff like that. Yeah. So, okay, guys, that is us. Subscribe if you'd like to see some more of our trip to Greece, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.